we're going to learn a little bit more about the Sedona. So I wanted to let you know why we brought the Sedona in. When we opened Ahhhsome Relaxation, our goal was to help people in every way possible. And as we went along, we found that one of the things that we had a hard time addressing were people who had extreme pain. Touch bothered them, heat bothered them, those kinds of things. But we really wanted to help them. So I started looking for things that would not upset the body in any way. In other words, no heat or pressure or rollers or electrical stimulus that could be really felt, but that would make a difference in people's bodies. And that's when we found PEMF therapy, pulsed electromagnetic field therapy. And we researched a lot of different options out there for PEMF therapy, and finally settled on the Sedona for a lot of good reasons. But just know it doesn't release any of that negative bad electricity that so many PEMF therapy devices can release. It also has a stronger amount of Gauss, which is a measurement for intensity, and then a lot of therapy options on the market for PEMF therapy. And we wanted to get something that had really been thoroughly tested and was actually being used in hospitals, but had gone through the rigorous testing for the negative EMFs, electromagnetic frequencies, that so many devices put out. We wanted to know it had been tested and had passed all of those tests. So that's how we found the Sedona. It's made in Denmark, and we really think it's just a world-class piece of equipment. So we brought this first one in because we had read so many things about how PEMFs can really help bodies that are in pain with inflammation. It can really help them help themselves. And so we brought one in. We got it Christmas Eve of 2019, and we got it out of the box, and it was shortly before we were closing, and I laid on it for about 15 minutes. I just wanted to try it before I went home for Christmas Eve with my family. And the really cool thing was my energy level was incredible afterwards. I felt absolutely amazing. I thought, what is this magicness? So we decided to ask 25 of our guests who had autoimmune disorders, sleep problems, pain issues. They had issues that maybe the other equipment here at Ahhhsome hadn't quite addressed well enough. And we put all 25 people into this kind of just study, if you will, where we just had them come in 3 times a week and use the Sedona for 30 minutes. And at the end of 30 days, every single person, all 25 of them, said that they had positive results. Now, some of them had positive results with things that they hadn't expected, but not with the things they had. For instance, we had one guest who was having trouble with some headaches. Her headaches didn't get better, but her immune system went really up. Her family all got the flu, and she never got sick, and she has a really compromised immune system, and she never got the flu. We had a number of people tell us it did help with their pain. It did help with their sleep. Those were the 2 big things where we really saw results. And for people with anxiety, we really saw that people were able to calm down and relax. So it was just this really cool thing. So we decided, hey, let's bring 10 of them into Ahhhsome and see what they can do. And it really has made a huge difference in so many people's lives. Now, that said, on a personal note, my mom was diagnosed with lupus this summer, and she was in a lot of pain. We did change some of her nutrition. She has kind of reverted back to eating the way she always has before. But what's interesting is all of her lupus markers are gone. Her doctor is like, I don't understand what I'm seeing here, but all of your inflammatory markers are gone. And so that's been really neat. And then for me, on a personal note, I have been fighting papillary carcinoma of the thyroid for 3.5 years, almost 4 years. But at my 3-year mark, I went in for my test, and my tumors had not shrunk the previous years before. I've been fighting this holistically with doctors monitoring me. So I go in for these annual exams now because nothing had changed. They just wanted to see me on an annual basis. And so this was my 3rd-year test, and I was just praying, please let something have reduced in size, because everything had stayed the same up until that point. But I really wanted my tumors to start shrinking. So went in for my test, and my doctor said, I can't believe this, but there's been a almost 20% decrease in the tumors and an almost 60% decrease in the cysts on the other side of my thyroid. Now, the Sedona was the only thing in the last year that I had changed. All my supplementation had stayed the same. My nutrition had stayed the same. My stress actually had been a little higher than I had wanted it to be, and yet my tumors had shrunk. So I know that it does something to bring my body into balance. The other really cool thing is it can get my stress level down really fast. I do have to listen to a meditation or something while I'm on it, just because my mind likes to go a million miles an hour, but it has made a huge difference in my life. So that's a little bit about why we brought the Sedona in and what it's done for us on personal notes and that kind of thing. But let's learn a little more about the science on the Sedona. Now, it's important to note that you should not use this if you are currently being treated with chemotherapy, if you are pregnant, have epilepsy, or have had an organ transplant, because it does affect your immune system. And all of those things, for whatever reason, can be triggered with a big change in your immune system. So we want to be very, very careful. Now, I need to read this disclaimer to you. This information is for reference purposes only and is not intended to recommend our pulsed electromagnetic field therapy device system as a drug or as a diagnosis for any illness or disease or condition, nor as a product to eliminate disease or other medical conditions. The information has not been evaluated by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Worldwide, there are no governmental health agencies that recognize a need to supplement natural magnetic fields using pulsed electromagnetic fields. Also, the website, company, employees, practitioners, or its distributors make no warranty of any kind, expressed or implied, with regard to the information or how you use it. Sedona Wellness USA Ltd. and Ahhhsome Relaxation make no medical claims, real or implied, as to benefits of our device and methods. Our product is not intended to be used to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Readers should consult appropriate health professionals relating to their health and well-being. Readers accept all responsibility for self-experimentation. And you, of course, are the readers, or in this case, the listeners. This information has been translated, and so sometimes it's a little bit hard to read. So I hope that you will bear with me as we go through this. The energies prevalent in nature are a manifestation of electromagnetic in nature. The cell-to-cell activities within our bodies are due to the exchange of the electromagnetic energies at the cellular level. Within the health-conscious society that we dwell, everyone is aware of the terms electrocardiogram and electroencephalograph tests. These two tests are used to measure the activity of the heart and the brain, respectively. The world is certainly aware of the fact that once the electromagnetic activities within the body come to a halt, the life itself comes to an end. The entire control of the activities within our bodies is due to the electromagnetic energy. An imbalance in this energy disrupts the entire functioning of the body by impeding the metabolism between the cells. If this happens, then the cells will not function appropriately and thus hamper health. The following section will discuss in detail the introduction to the magnetic fields, pulsed electromagnetic fields, and other curative proceedings in the human body. Introduction to electromagnetic fields. To experience what a magnetic field is actually like, then one needs to hold two magnets and force them together. The resonance felt during this process is nothing but the magnetic field. The molten metal within the Earth's crust has even resulted in the Earth having its own magnetic field. It is due to this field that the north direction is indicated by a compass. An alteration in the magnetic flux can generate an electric current, such as the variation in the magnetic field due to the variation in the electric current flowing through a coil. It is this principle on which the electric motors and electric generators work. Electrical energy and magnetic field influence each other greatly. A changing magnetic flux has the potential to produce electrical current and vice versa. This is a natural, observable fact that has existed in nature for years. The movement of the electric charges leads to the creation of electromagnetic field. It highly impacts any charged particle in its environment. Pulsed electromagnetic fields, or PEMFs. PEMFs have been used widely as they have the potential to advance the circulation and cell metabolism. Static magnetic fields are not able to penetrate the human body as deeply as pulsed electromagnetic fields are capable of. They are quite dynamic and create a surge of effects within the body. There is a huge distinction in the electromagnetic fields used for curative purposes and the ones used for other purposes, like in power transmission systems and cell phones, which have the potential to cause ill effects on the human body. However, the PEMF devices used for therapeutic purposes are very safe and make use of electromagnetic fields of lesser intensity and are corresponding to the body's functions. Effects of electromagnetic fields on the human body. Anything in the vicinity of electromagnetic fields suffers behavioral changes. The activities within the human body have the potential to generate these fields. For instance, the heart beats generate these waves throughout the blood flow passage within the human body. These in turn excite the tissues at the cellular level. The electric and magnetic fields which are generated within the body interact with those fields which are present outside the body. Any electromagnetic field passing through our body stimulates each and every cell present within the body. These have a huge impact on the activities taking place within the body at the micro level and affect the activities taking place in the cells, be it human, plant, or animal. Impact of magnetic fields on the basic cell activities. The cells are always busy using energy in order to flush out toxins from the body, to heal itself and perform each and every task which is essential to sustain the day-to-day functions of the body. There is an increase in the movement of ions within the tissues and the fluids within the body in the presence of electromagnetic waves. Hence, in order to move an ion in any living organism, it is required to subject them to electromagnetic waves. This movement can trigger a lot of chemical and electrical activities in the human body, thus helping it to heal quickly. Cells consume energy in order to function peacefully without any hassles. This is possible only when adenosine triphosphate, ATP, is applied to the cells. ATP enhances the metabolic activities of the cells. Deterioration in the ATP levels within the body can affect the activities of the cells and might result in cell impairment. An increase in the movement of the ions and let's start this again. Adenosine triphosphate. Cells consume energy in order to function peacefully without any hassles. This is possible only when adenosine triphosphate, or ATP, is applied to the cells. ATP enhances the metabolic activities of the cells. Deterioration in the ATP levels within the body can affect the activities of the cells and might result in cell impairment. An increase in the movements of the ions and electrolytes can boost the cell's activity by 500%. Cellular treatment. Cell membranes channel up to the presence of electromagnetic waves. They are like any passages which allow the exchange of nutrients and waste in and out of the cells. This enhances the ease with which the materials flow into and out of the cells. This channeling up of cells reinstates the cell functions and hence the efficiency of the cells. Cells are the principal components of the tissues, and these in turn make up the organs. Hence, when the tissues are restored, the organs' functions are restored and the body functions more smoothly. The body ages over time, hence it's vital for all the organs to function efficiently. PEMF healing. The body contracts diseases when the cells stop to carry out its day-to-day functions. Magnetic fields come into the picture as they have the potential to heal the impairments in the cells and even enhance the protein intake of the cells. These proteins maintain the cells healthily and prevent them from further damage. The magnetic fields make sure that the activities of the cells and the organs function properly. Myths about magnetic fields. The intensity of the magnetic fields varies with the frequency. The higher the frequency, the greater the impact by these magnetic fields. Based on the frequency levels, the electromagnetic waves can be used as extremely low frequencies, or ELFs, very low frequencies, VLFs, ultraviolet and infrared frequency levels. The risk the body is subjected to is higher during the usage of cell phones or near power lines. It's because the intensity of the electromagnetic waves near these sources is too high. These high-frequency waves have the capacity to induce heat in the cellular level within the body, and thus modifying the genetic structure. This causes the cells to die. The electronic appliances, which are regularly used every day, emit electromagnetic waves of lesser frequency and are considered safe by the regulating bodies. The devices used for medical purposes are very safe. The high diagnostic machines, which utilize quite high frequencies, are also considered safe for people operating them, provided they follow the norms laid down for the usage. Prolonged exposure to magnetic fields. The magnetic fields with low intensity are very safe for the people getting exposed to them. Healthy cells are not affected by the presence of the magnetic field because they cannot be stimulated more than their actual capacity. Only cells which are weaker get stimulated by the PEMFs. Time period required for the healing process. It is very easy to treat minor damages caused to cells. People usually seek treatment only once the situations go way beyond their control. In this case, the damages caused just deepened, and it becomes necessary to treat such cases. PEMFs don't actually cure diseases. They just promote the activities of the body at the cellular level so that the organs function efficiently. The extent to which the damage has been done to the body decides the time period required for the healing process due to treatments. The greater the damage, the longer is the duration of the treatment and higher is the time taken by the body to heal itself. If the damage is way beyond control, then it might not be possible to see any effects of the PEMF's healing process. This doesn't mean that PEMFs don't work. A body's healing process is totally different, and no scientific instrument can interfere with that. A lot of patience is required in order to witness significant results. In my own case, I used this device from December until the end of May, the beginning of June, consistently on a daily basis. So several months before, and it had been years that I had changed my nutrition and been trying to get my stress down and doing everything here at Ahhhsome and supplementing. And so be patient with your body as you use any therapies here at Ahhhsome. PEMFs and their role in treating other ailments. PEMFs don't actually heal any ailments like diabetes or cancer. All they do is help the cells perform their functions to the fullest. This in turn can help the body to respond to other treatments. However, these magnetic fields can be used to reduce pain or any inflammation, but in no case can PEMFs be suggested as a primary treatment by any healthcare professional. They can be made use of only after proper diagnosis. Frequency of treatments. The magnetic fields do not just help the body during treatments, but also help with maintenance of day-to-day activities. The PEMFs can be used regularly at Ahhhsome and thus help prevent any massive attack from ailments. However, a discussion with a healthcare professional is a must before making any decision. PEMF may also complement other medications and enhance the results. Effects of PEMFs. It is evident that magnetic fields charge up the ions in the body and also enhance the flow of nutrients into the cells. If the quality of the nutrients like calcium, sodium, phosphorus are not at optimum levels within the body, then there wouldn't be any healing effect to witness, because the right amount of nutrients must go into the body. So it would be a great idea to take nutrient supplements. Doctors advise their patients undergoing magnetic therapies to drink lots of water and also to take magnesium supplements for better results. I personally have taken a number of supplements and do notice an uptake. It seems like in my body I feel a little better, like they're doing a little bit more for me. I also see that my urine is less yellow, so my body must be doing something to absorb those a little bit better. Just a thought. Advantages of using PEMFs. Increased in circulation. Magnetic fields have been known to speed up the circulation process within the body. There are a lot of cells within the body, like the red blood cells and the white blood cells. These cells possess charges. When they lose their charge, they end up sticking to each other and thus inhibit the circulation process. Passing a magnetic field through such lumps of cells can instantly energize them and bring back the circulation process and get it on track. This significantly increases the flow of nutrients into the blood vessels and dilation of the network. This promotes the flow of oxygen and helps the damaged tissues repair themselves. Proper functioning of muscles. Muscles derive energy for their function from a process referred to as myosin phosphorylation. This process involves the production of ATP for their smooth functioning. When muscles derive the optimal energy needed for their functioning, then the ability of them to recover from their work routine is also enhanced. Contracted muscles also can relax in a better fashion, and the intensity of the pain is also less. Decrease in inflammation. The human body has the capability to initiate any healing process by increasing the blood flow to the damaged area and thus increasing the number of inflammatory cells. This physiological process is referred to as inflammation. A number of cells, such as the immune cells, support this process. It is a very beneficial process, but when it lasts longer than required, it causes chronic conditions. This in turn causes chronic pain within the body. PEMFs reduce these problems which arise due to inflammation. Knowing the actions which trigger the inflammation process helps to carry out the magnetic field treatments properly. This inflammatory condition within the body can be regulated and controlled by the T cells. Whenever an area of the body is infected by bacteria, the T cells arrive and kill the bacteria after the white blood cells have played their part. In this scenario, T cells play a vital role in the healing process. However, in injuries induced due to traumatic accidents, T cells have no role to play in the healing process. They magnify the problem if present at the damaged sites for too long. So T cells have to be removed to promote the healing process and bring the body back to normal conditions. It's favorable to remove T cells from the damaged spots during conditions such as rheumatoid arthritis, psoriasis, or tendinitis. Aged and chronic T lymphocytes can be killed by PEMFs under the actions of enzymes present within the cells. PEMFs can also enhance the flow of ions into the cells and thus enhance the enzyme activity. Reduction of stress. All human beings are susceptible to stress caused by daily activities. A form of positive stress, commonly referred to as eustress, is necessary for survival, but too much of anything is certainly not good for the body. The same applies to stress. 65% of the illnesses in the body are triggered by the stress activities. Stress reduction activities delay the damage, so it can show up a considerable amount of time later. It's necessary to reduce stress on a daily basis. PEMFs can play a great role in promoting stress reduction. Healing of bones. Magnetic fields are capable of penetrating the bones. PEMFs can be of great use when the damages within the bones have to be treated. Magnetic fields can improve the regeneration of bone and also helps in treating various diseases like osteoporosis and osteopenia, which is the precursor to osteoporosis. Oxygenation of blood. No metabolic activities within the cells can occur without oxygen. Oxygen is taken into the body from the lungs. It is then absorbed into the bloodstream and is transported all over the body by the arteries. The absorbed oxygen is taken up by all the cells to carry out the metabolic processes. Within the cells, the enzymes and other agents utilize the oxygen to catalyze the metabolic reactions. PEMFs play a significant role in extracting the oxygen from the air accumulated in the lungs and transferring it into the bloodstream. The metabolism levels of an organism are a key factor in determining the selectivity of the cells to the nutrients. Only the optimal levels of oxygen in the bloodstream promote the cellular activities to take place smoothly within the body. The deoxygenated blood is then taken back to the heart for the purpose of recycling. It is very essential for the cells to carry out these processes because any damage at the grassroots level can hamper the entire picture of the human body functioning. This audio just provides some basic ideas about the effects of the magnetic fields in the healing process within the body. The scope of the magnetic fields are way more than listed in this document. They also play a noteworthy role in reducing muscle tension, improving tissue healing, reducing pain, increasing energy levels within the body, improving clotting factors, slowing the development of arthritis, and stimulating the immune system. The use of PEMFs is not just limited to these conditions. They're also helpful in detoxifying the body, increasing the uptake of nutrients by the cells, reducing blood pressure levels, helping in proper nerve and liver function, balancing the acupuncture meridians, improved sleep. It helps make soft tissues more flexible and reduces arthritic changes within the body. All of the applications of PEMFs are not known. With each research finding, PEMFs are expanding their horizons and applications. I hope that this has helped you learn a little more about PEMF therapy and what it can do to and for your body. Remember, always consult your physician, but we encourage you to learn more in our binder in the Relaxation Lounge. We do have more information, and I hope that this has just helped you feel a little better about this therapy that you're using today.